As Sheldon said, I'm LaKisha Odom, and I'll be giving you the FFAR's perspective on collaborative science. But before I do that, it may be helpful for those of you who are a little less familiar with FFAR to hear a bit about who we are and what we do at the Foundation for Food and Agriculture Research. So a little bit about FFAR is we're a nonprofit created through bipartisan congressional support in the 2014 Farm Bill, and as we learned a little bit earlier, that was the 2012 Farm Bill that occurred in 2014. We're governed by a board of directors and advised by expert councils. Some of our advisory council members are here today, so it's been great to have the opportunity to connect with them as well. And FFAR's major goals are to be complementary but not duplicative to the work of USDA, and to increase the research dollars that are in agriculture and food through leveraging public-private partnerships. FFAR's vision is looking at envisioning a world in which ever innovative and collaborative science could provide every person access to affordable, nutritious food grown on thriving farms. So given that in our vision we have collaborative science kind of in the middle, so that's how we kind of feel that that's really one of the focuses of our mission. We like to accomplish our vision through building unique partnerships. We like to support innovative science, addressing today's challenges. One of the ways we do that is in the 2014 Farm Bill, we were given a $2 million investment, and we were charged that for every dollar FFAR spends, we are required to find a non-federal match. And that is a unique challenge and an amazing opportunity, because what it does is it encourages us to seek out diverse groups that might not otherwise collaborate together in order to try to collaborate to solve challenges. So in forming our partnerships, we often seek out industry partners, other foundations, state and local governments. We can partner with international partners. So we've had the opportunity to find a wide number of partners in trying to find these federal matches, or these non-federal matches. So we know what the challenges are. I think we all know the number by 2050, and we can see that in the United States especially, funding for agricultural research is on the decline in the traditional sense. And we hope that FFAR's model, through creating novel research partnerships, working nimbly, leveraging public dollars, and then filling research gaps, can enable us to find opportunity in that space between public research and private research dollars. This space that apparently I've learned is a revolutionary space. I'm going to use that forever now. Jason, thank you. I didn't know I was in the midst of a revolution. I like it. I like being a revolutionary. I'm adopting it now. This is who I am. New person. That's who I am now. That's now my new identity. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you. I like it. So FFAR likes to exist in this space where we can find that opportunity between public-private partnerships. So that's what we like to try to do. And we like to find these complex problems, and through collaboration, we like to pull resources through our partners, knowledge through our identification of research gaps, in order to affect change that can benefit humanity. These are our 7 challenge areas, and our 7 challenge areas is really our strategic research framework. We do fund outside of these challenge areas. We call those projects or programs our strategic initiatives, so we do things in workforce development. We call that our fostering the future. But really, we primarily fund in areas such as food waste, food loss, healthy soils, thriving farms, which is one of my portfolio areas, protein challenge, which is really more animal sustainability, innovation, pathways to sustainability, which is really looking at those barriers to adoption that we talk about a lot, and we've talked about a lot. If you were at the Soil and Water Conservation Society meeting, those are those areas that we tend to house those types of research projects in. Making My Plate, Your Plate, which is where we put a lot of our nutrition, food, and projects that surround food nutrition. Urban food systems, which I think I thought about writing down. I wrote down the name of the woman that was in the Bronx and her farm, because I want to actually tell our urban food systems person about her, because I think that would be a great connection to make. And then water scarcity, which is the other challenge area that I manage. So these are the 7 challenge areas around which we try to fund primarily. But we will fund outside of that if we find something interesting and innovative in the plant space. As Sheldon said, I was brought on in 2017, and although the foundation was founded in 2014, we really weren't up and running until about 2016, when all the scientific program staff was brought on place. So by 2016 till now, we've awarded 77 grants, over $105 million in matching and leverage funds, and over 100 contributors and co-founders. And we're really proud of that, because we're a pretty small staff of about 15 people. Yep. So, wow is right. So what I'd like to do now is just highlight a couple of projects, 3 projects that we funded under the Healthy Soils Thriving Farms Challenge area that I think exemplify collaborative science. So one of the projects that we funded under open call for our competitive call, our Seeding Solutions program, which is our open competitive program that we have every year. By every year, I mean last year and this year. I like it, right? I say every year. But so this particular project was matched by the FFAR Research Fund for a total of a $2 million investment. But it was a really exciting project with a team of collaborators seeking to quantify the impact of nutrient management practices on crop yield, soil health, nutrient use efficiencies, looking in the Corn Belt with corn and soybean farmers in mind. So we're really excited about that project. And then I won't go into this particular larger project, as Sheldon said. It's one of the larger projects that we've made, the largest investment in our soil health portfolio, and it was resulting in a nearly $20 million investment in soil health. We announced it last year. And we're very excited by the partnership between Soil Health Institute, Soil Health Partnership, and the Nature Conservancy, and you'll hear more from them in a little bit. But the one thing I would like to take a moment to say is the thing that excited me most about the project, and the thing that continues to, I think, keep me in awe and keep me excited, is the commitment that each of these individual groups has to ensuring that this project remains so collaborative. They each have their own missions, they each have their own stakeholders, but they are all so committed to ensuring that the results of one project feeds into the other. And to see 3 groups come together to solve problems that address soil health challenges, to see them all commit to this in such a serious way, in such a committed way, in such an intentional way. It's been such a pleasure to be a part of that, even in a small way. So I'm very proud to be a part of it, even though I'm just like in the peripheral, but I'm still proud to be a part of it. I'll claim it, if you let me. And then the last project that we were really excited about, it was one of the first investments that we made, was with the Samuel Roberts Noble Foundation, now the Noble Research Institute. It was a $2.2 million investment with FFAR, but it was a 3-to-1 match with the Noble Research Institute that resulted in a $6.6 million investment for a collaborative multi-partner research effort to improve soil health through encouraging adoption of existing cover crop use and advanced breeding techniques. And the exciting thing about this is it was several universities and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and so that was also a multi-collaborative project. Now, looking toward the future, there was a study recently that came out supported by supporters of the Agricultural Research Foundation, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, NIFA, the National Science Foundation, Department of Energy, and then FFAR also committed funding, and it's the Science Breakthroughs to Advance Food and Agriculture Research by 2030. The purpose of the study is to identify innovative emerging scientific advances for making the U.S. food and agricultural systems more efficient, resilient, and sustainable. If you haven't had the opportunity to review the whole study, I think it's a great thing to take the time to do, but what I did take the opportunity to do is just pull out the pieces on soil. But before that, there was a part that I thought was really interesting. Taken from the report, it said research efforts will now need to be conducted through transdisciplinary collaborations that involve not only soil scientists, but engineers, microbiologists, ecologists, data scientists, among others. And after lunch, apparently medical professionals and apparently psychologists. And so I think the most important thing, though, is even as we try to meet that 2050 goal, to get to 2030, we're still going to need that collaborative research. It's going to be extremely important. And so I won't go through what the report says, but I just pulled out some of the highlights from the soil pieces. Yes, I see I have 3 minutes, and that's great. So that was the future. And now to talk about how I feel about FFAR's role in collaborative science, this is a thing that I did one night with a lot of wine involved. There was a conversation that I had with somebody about what FFAR is and where FFAR fits. And then we got to talking about Archimedes. Yes, this would actually happen, and that's why you're gonna have to sit through this too. So what we started thinking about is what visual makes sense? And I'm always doing this, trying to think through things. And so what I thought about was this thing about give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it and I shall move the world. It's a grand thing, right? So what I think about when I think about agricultural challenges is that there are these wicked problems. Everything we talk about, decreasing water, decreasing land, issues with adoption, climate variability, decreasing resources, everything, right? They almost at times seem insurmountable. They seem like you're trying to lift the world. And in my mind, hopefully what FAR can be is a fulcrum, this central pivotal thing. And then the lever itself could be the research or the technology advances that we have. And then the person moving everything is our stakeholders. It's you, everyone in this room, everyone that we partner with. And if we do this right, our ability to leverage, our ability to convene, our ability to move in this public-private space will make a heavy lift feel a little less heavy. And if we can do that, then we have done our job. Thank you.